Word on this one. All right, everybody. We have the lovely Jill McNamee here to talk all about leveraging your connections, being referable, being that person to connect to so that we are top of mind. I am a huge advocate of Google SEO, but also that word of mouth. And Jill can speak so confidently to this because she is the go-to person in Hudson. Everybody knows Jill. And I wanted to have you come on. So thanks for sharing your afternoon with us and sharing a little bit about what you do. So tell everybody, because this is a worldwide podcast. So tell people who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Yeah, so I'm wearing many hats right now. I am a real estate agent. I am a franchise operator of Keller Williams. I just took that role on in September. I am a coach, real estate coach, obviously. And right now I'm acting as the team leader of our Keller Williams Hudson office because I don't have a team leader. So I'm looking to hire that role. So I'm working on that. I'm wearing many hats today, but mostly I started selling real estate in 2008 in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Yeah. In 2008.
Yeah. Yes, in 2008.
And for those of you,
realtors were
right,
leaving the business. Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that are old enough listening to this podcast, that was a big time in business and in our world, and you're still around and still doing really well. And I'm super honored to call you a friend and a colleague, and just excited to learn from you today. So we're going to dive right in. So, what are your favorite ways to be top of mind?
Oh, geez. That is my favorite part about real estate, right? Like when I first got into real estate, I just started having coffee appointments. Well, I started St. Croix Valley Girls. That is one of my favorite ways to stay top of mind. Since I brought that up, I felt like when I got into real estate in 2008, I needed to find a way to bring value to the people I was meeting so that I didn't have to be the awkward, sort of pushy salesperson. I wanted to bring value. I'm always my mindset is always, if I bring value, I will get what I need from that person. So back in 2008, I created a little 5x7 postcard with my vision for what became St. Croix Valley Girls. And it's really funny. We were talking about it in the meeting today because our meeting, I literally just came from there. I started walking around town with this postcard, and it said, I have this awesome networking group called St. Croix Valley Girls. We have an educational speaker every week, every month, and we meet monthly. You should come check it out. Well, I was speaking like I had it before I had it.
Yes.
So I tell my coaching students, like, how do you act like you have a business before you have a business? That's how I did that. I had the vision in my head for the group. And I knew if I approached people and invited them to a cool, fun ladies event, that would be my value that I would bring to them. And then hopefully I would end up getting what I wanted. So that was sort of my first thing that I did. And the great part about that is, back in 2008, I needed people's emails address because email was really, like back then, the best and easiest way to get in front of people. So when I was offering to invite them to something fun, they coughed up their email address without hesitation. And that gave me my opportunity to build my tribe. And those people are still attending the group today. I had 6 people at my first meeting.
And how many came today? Because you have a packed house. How many people come to your event?
Yeah. Today we had 40, I think like 48.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing, Jill. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. But it allows me, for one, I email them about the event. So they get 3 invitations a month. So when I think about top of mind, I think of it as touches in a different way than some people think about a touch, but you need to get your name in front of them. I feel like one of my favorite books was Jack Reese and Trout wrote a book together on positioning. It's called Positioning the Battle for Your Mind. And in the book, they talk about I, as a consumer, only have 2 places in my mind, 2 placeholders for an insurance agent. And if you are not one of the 2 insurance agents I think about when I think of insurance, you're not going to get my business. I'm not going to refer you business. So I have sort of created my business in a way to be touching them, but it's kind of, I explain it as I have a wheel and it has spokes on it. And every person that's in my lead generation wheel is every touch that I do for them is a cog in my wheel. And like you who are getting my touches, you don't even really understand what I'm doing because I'm doing it in a way that is not invasive or obnoxious. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But our people in our database are probably getting about 60 or more touches a year,
Wow.
so that's a lot of touches,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
yet it doesn't feel spammy. So what, again, I always tell my coaching students, like, for one, Maurice's on my phone, like I get a message from Maurice's like probably daily. And quite often I look at my phone and I'm like, oh man, I should just opt out. But then there's that little part of me that says, if I opt out, I might miss a great sale. Or next week, I might need something from Maurice's, and then I'm not going to have what I need. It's kind of like Amazon. Think about how many times Amazon touches us as consumers. Would
Mm-hmm.
you ever in a million years unsubscribe from Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
So I think of it as, if you're providing the person value, why would they want to unsubscribe from what you're sending?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So, but it has to be valuable. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't just like spam people.
Mm-hmm.
So the key is figuring out, what people want and doing it
Right.
in a way where I'm not just sending 60 emails a year. I'm sending emails. If I know your birthday, you're getting a birthday card, with a branded birthday card with a coupon for either a free cupcake at the bakery or a free pizza. If I'm thinking about you today and I send you a handwritten note, you're getting, I have cards for different vendors. Like, this one's the pizza card. I don't know if you can see it, but I love to partner with other local businesses to promote them. And then that way, when I'm sending out a handwritten note, I can say, oh, hey, have a free pizza on me from EJ's Pizza, or, have a free sandwich from my buddy's bakery on me. And then the person that owns that small business is getting value, because even if you don't use the coupon, they're seeing your logo. I co-brand all the coupons, and so I'm promoting me and I'm promoting them. So that's how we do that. That was a long answer to your question. I'm just rambling on because I'm so passionate about it. I could literally talk about it for forever.
Right. Well, exactly. Exactly. So you started St. Croix Valley Girls. That was one of the ways you started to be referable. What are other ways that you do this in your business? You talked about
Well,
writing notes and birthday cards, and
yes.
so what are
Well,
your like top 3 or 4?
yeah, well, I think being referable, for one, being referable, people are not going to refer me unless I'm doing a good job. So that's
Mm-hmm.
obvious, that's an obvious. The thing is, though, you have to teach people how to refer you. Like, my friend is not going to just automatically know how to refer me. So I have to actually explain to them and let them know, here's how you can refer me. Um, and so we do that by rewarding the behavior of the referral. So let's say, Melissa, if you send me, let's just say your neighbor's selling and you're going to refer me, I'm going to right away, like, if you give me her name today, even if I haven't even talked to her yet, you're getting cookies from my friend who owns the local bakery in River Falls, from Mimi's Cookies. I have a system set up with Mimi. I just type it in the spreadsheet. She sends you cookies as a thank you for referring the McNamee team. Now, I do that before I even know if your neighbor's going to transact, because I'm training you how to refer me. Because if you refer me And the next day you get a box of cookies delivered to your door in a cute, bright pink and purple box. Like, that's training you. You're going to be like, "Ooh, I want more
Love that.
cookies."
Mhm.
Because who doesn't love cookies? Now, a lot of people, they reward for the transaction when it closes. And I don't do that because I want more referrals. I don't care. Like, I don't care if your neighbor ever uses me. I don't care if I never even talk to your neighbor. You thought of me enough to refer me. You're getting a gift from me. And, 15 years ago when I first started, I didn't have money for Mimi's cookies, but I sent a thank you card, and maybe a $5 Starbucks gift card or whatever. You've got to reward them for the activity because you're training them. It's like training a dog.
Yeah,
You're,
exactly.
yep, you're literally, it's that repetition. So anytime, I don't know, you've probably seen, I know you're in the Hudson Community Facebook group. Anytime somebody says, "Oh, we're looking for a great realtor, who do you know?" And, the big fan club happens. Every single person that puts Jill McNamee or the McNamee team, they're getting the cookies.
Dang.
Yep. And I've gotten to the point now with some of my clients that if I don't see them putting my name down, I'll shoot them a quick text and be like, "Hey, I need you." And now it's no problem. Like, they can totally,
Yeah.
they love helping me because they
Oh my
know
God.
they're going to get cookies or some other gift, that I send them. So that's how I refer. And, we do the same thing with like our agent referrals because I get a lot of referrals from agents in Minnesota who aren't licensed in Wisconsin. So that's a whole nother avenue of business for me. But I really believe that you have to train them how to refer, and you have to let them know that you need the help, you know?
Yeah. How do you let them know you need the help? That's a big one for me because I don't like asking for help.
That is a big one. And I honestly, I do have a hard time with that also. I mean, even at St. Croix Valley Girls, sometimes I don't flat out just say, like, what I have been saying is, "You guys, like, I started this group. I'm here today running this meeting, and I come here every month for the same reason you do, in the hopes of getting your business."
Yeah.
So that is a challenge because, it's so much easier for other people to toot your horn than when you have to do it for yourself, right?
Mhm.
So, maybe it's doing it in ways where, you're telling a story on social media of, how you worked with this client or whatever. But I think it all comes down to, for me, about having a relationship.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I feel like unless I have spent enough time, like, truly getting to know you as a person, I cannot expect that you're going to just give me a referral because we met at a networking event.
Right. Right.
So, one of the things that always bothers me about networking is, like, people will attend, they'll go home with a big stack of business cards, they put them in their CRM, and out come the emails. And, I get that. That's one way of touching. But how about, sending me a handwritten note? "Hey, it was nice meeting you at the chamber event last night. Do you want to grab a cup of coffee? I'd love to hear about your business and what you're doing." So it's taking that next step to really get to know the person. And, for one, not many people send handwritten notes anymore. So when they get that in their mailbox, they're going to be like, "Oh, wow, Jill sent a nice handwritten note." Then I say, "Hey, I'd love to get to know you and hear more about your business. Like, I don't want to tell you about mine. I want to ask about yours." Then you meet for coffee, then it's just like, I think about it this way. Once you email them and you decide to meet for coffee, you're kind of going back and forth. By the time you meet for coffee, you've already had enough conversations where you feel like you know each other. The coffee appointment is really just taking the relationship from very surface level to, like, okay, now they might feel like they could trust giving me a referral.
Mhm.
Going back to the teaching people how to refer, one thing that I try to do is, there's nothing worse than giving someone a referral and never hearing another word about it. Like if I give you a referral to your business, like keep me updated. Like I want to know, did that person turn into business for you? Because I'm trying to help you. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when someone gives me a referral, I'll always say, hey, I met with so-and-so today. Thanks again. I'm going to be listing their property, or, they're not quite ready yet, but I'm going to stay in touch. They want to know if the way they tried to help you is actually helping you.
Mm.
So I think it's really important after, like, no matter what kind of business you have, if someone's referring you, keep them updated on what's happening with that referral. And, they're going to want to know, did it turn
Yeah.
into business? And then thank them again,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's kind of like, in our business, we call it the great retrace. Like,
Right.
all the way through the transaction, you're updating them. They first get the cookie gift, then you're letting them know we're at this step, we're at that step. Then when you have a closing, you call them and you say, hey, I just wanted you to know that because of you, you referred me to Susie. I got paid today because of you. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're just letting them know, hey, I just got a paycheck because of you. So thanks. I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you do real estate, and I'm already taking notes on some things that you have said. Um, Handwritten cards, huge. I do that too, especially during my downtime right now. We're in between seasons, and I am
Mm-hmm.
reaching out with handwritten cards to people that haven't stepped inside the studio in a year, but
Yep.
are close enough where they're like they could come back. They could stand to come back.
Uh-huh.
Um, what are a couple other favorites that you do? You do the birthdays,
Yep.
you
We
do a
do
lot
the
of
birth.
coffees, you do your
Yep.
events. You have another event that you have that's annual, right?
Yep. Well, we have our premiere event. I mean, we do lots of events throughout the year for the community. We do a free movie event. We have a partnership with the YMCA. I'm on the board for the local YMCA here. So we do Holiday Hoopla. It's a holiday event for the kids. They make gingerbread houses, see Santa, all of that. But my favorite event, and the one that like gets the most, like, we only have 125 spots, but it's called Bubbles and Baubles. So that one is like one that like everyone wants to come to. It's a woman's jewelry swap event that we do as a fundraiser for Dress for Success. So this year will be year 10. And we're at a new location this year, so that ought to be interesting. But typically we have it at a winery, and we shut down the winery, rent out the space. So it's only our group. What's great about that event is it includes networking. They come and they get to network. They get, I feed them appetizers and pizzas. Last year I think we went through 40 pizzas. They get swag bags, like really nice swag bags. And it's just a really fun time, prizes, drinks, all that stuff. But what I love about it, and the reason I do the event, is I love a party, and I would rather have a big party for all my people and celebrate with them and have conversation that's relationship building versus like calling them on the phone every month and being like, hey, who do you know that needs to buy or sell real estate? Like, they
Yeah.
know I'm in real estate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't want to shove that down their throat. So, but the cool part about it is the lead generating opportunity for doing an event. It's not really about the event itself. It's about the lead generation that you do leading up to the event. And this particular event, we get sponsors to help pay for it. So they get that as an opportunity. So I get to call my people and be like, hey, do you want to sponsor my cool event? So that's a touch. The second piece of that is they get the opportunity to put swag in the swag bags. That's another opportunity for me to touch them and be like, hey, I know last year you put X in the swag bag, do you want to participate again? And then, so it's not only lead generating to the attendees that are coming, but I also get to utilize my connections in the community to get the awesome swag.
Mm-hmm.
So like usually our swag bags are like overflowing full of branded fun stuff, everything from like, oh my gosh, like fingernail files to, I have a rule. They cannot put something in the bag that's just a coupon. It has to
Right.
be attached to something cool. Because I don't want my attendees, like, I want them walking away like it's a red carpet event. Like they walk away and they're like their wine is served in a branded glass that they get to take home, a branded wine glass they get to take home. The bags now, instead of using paper bags, I got really good quality, cute canvas bags. Because I'm like, I want 125 people walking around town at the
Mm-hmm.
grocery store with my cute Bubbles and Bobbles book bag, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something we just switched to last year, but yeah, so it's a really great opportunity for my connections to get exposure, and it helps me deepen my relationship with them.
Absolutely. And you're
So
and you're supporting a nonprofit, which is another
yes,
cool part for me that's important to me. Like
yep,
it is just layered so juicy. And I just love
yes,
what you said about it's not about the event, it's about the touches before the event and the
yes.
relationships there. That's huge, everybody. That and we always
Mhm.
think about that event, but you're so right. And
Yep.
you've layered it so well. And like you said, you love a party. This is your wheelhouse is
Uh-huh.
events.
Yep.
That is not my wheelhouse.
Oh,
But
really?
I no wheel, but no. But I appreciate you for doing those.
Yeah.
And the
Just have a
consist
couple of glasses of wine before everyone comes. Pretty soon it'll be in your wheelhouse.
no, it won't.
Oh, that's funny.
Never. Um, but I love we have so many things here, y'all. The consistency factor. You've been doing this for a while, and
Uh-huh.
you have been doing these events for a while, along with the other things. Um, but the relationship building, I was just at a training with a mutual friend of ours, and everybody in the room was because of relationship. It was not because
Yes.
they just ran into her or saw the email or saw the social media post. And that is what I just kind of want to preach. And just for a second, people focus so much on social media. And I just want to say, why? Why? I understand you have to do it, but you don't have
Uh-huh.
to spend so much time with it because there are so many other things to spend your time on that get more bang for your buck. One is SEO and the other is relationships so that you get those people walking in your doors because they
Yeah.
heard about you. They're
Yeah.
then going to go to your social media just to vet that, okay, she's in business, they're current, they're okay, I like that personality, but it's
Mhm.
they need to find you and they need to have great word of mouth
Yeah.
and you do that really, really well. Are
Thank
there
you.
any, as we wrap this up, are there any mistakes that you see business owners that you're like, oh, we could have done that a little better?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people like I text messages become a big thing.
Yes.
So I do get text messages from some people, businesses, and then like emails too. And like I'll consistently get a text or an email, but I can't tell you the last time that person has actually called me or texted me that I where I could tell it wasn't an automated text to say, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while, was thinking about you today. How the hell are you?" Do you know what I'm saying? Um, don't forget, automation is a tool to make things simpler. It is not a tool to replace one-on-one conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it's a two-way street too. So, you know, if I'm not hearing from these people or this company or whoever it is, I should be reaching out too. And it's a reminder to me because, let's just face it, like I'm talking all day long, but have I missed following up with people or, keeping my, over time, you just get busy and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for coffee appointments like I did in 2008. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's making that a priority and being
Yes.
like, hey, I have to also remember that if I initiate, hey, let's meet for coffee, I have been guilty of like, I'm not as organized as you are with the Calendly link. So sometimes I throw it out there like, hey, I really miss you. I want to get together and catch up. and I get so busy, I kind of forget. And then
Mhm.
it's like, and then
You're
that person's
human.
like, well, but wait, I haven't heard from you. You said you wanted to get together. Why are you blowing me off? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that is the only thing that I think of is if you're automating your business, don't use it as your only tool for and think that you're going to get business that way. It has to be deeper than that. I have to have a relationship with you to trust you enough to do business with you.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
don't forget that piece because that is so important, super, super important.
It is. It is. And I'm going to share a trick that you taught me that I thought was so gold, mind blowing with the automation.
Uh-huh.
And so we sign up for people's newsletters or whatever. And you said, well, I respond to their email, even though I know it's
Uh-huh.
sent out to everybody. And even though they customized it with my name on it, but I just send out just even a sentence, and you may just even
Yep.
read the last paragraph or the PS and comment. And then
Mhm.
your tool was like, well, that's because then I'm top of mind for them. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because you're getting the last
boom.
word in. Because they're the one that's sending you like their newsletter. And yeah, you might not have time to read the whole newsletter, but
Mhm.
you want them to think you read the newsletter. And
Yeah.
you know, obviously you would love to read the newsletter if
Everybody
you have
reads
time,
mine.
but if you send a quick email back, it's like, oh, it's they get the warm fuzzy, like, oh, Melissa read my email. That's
It's
so amazing.
huge. It's huge.
Mhm.
And it happened to me today. Somebody responded to my email and she did read it all, I could tell. But it was just, it
Uh-huh.
means so much because if you're sending those out weekly or monthly, they
Right.
take time and energy. And I highly
Uh-huh.
recommend you
Yeah.
do them. Like I want you to do them because that's a
Hmm.
way to nurture the relationship. But are you doing your part? And I always say this on the podcast, I'm a hands out girl because when your hands are open, you then can receive. And
Right.
you got to give what you want to get. So
Yes.
that is
Don't be a
you do,
taker.
yeah, you have to. If you
Mhm.
want the Google reviews, how many Google reviews are you leaving? If you want the
Right.
referral, how
Right.
many referrals are you giving? If you want,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Yep.
just just
Well, and
continually do that.
two, you know, just when you as you're bringing that up, like it does not cost you anything to share. Like if your dance studio gets an award or you get featured in a magazine and I see it on social media, I am sharing that thing and I'm going to say, hey, look at everyone. My friend Melissa just won you know, an award for being whatever top dance studio in Wisconsin
Mhm.
or something. Do you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, you've that stuff is free.
And it's
And
so
how are
neat.
you gonna feel if you see that I shared your stuff on social media? Like,
Mhm.
that's a no-brainer. Like,
Mhm.
you don't even have to think to do that. It's just, we all know how to do that. You just share
Mhm.
it, make a comment about it. And when people see you cheering others on, they're going to want to help you because you're genuine.
Mhm.
So that's another, you know, if you don't have a lot of money when you're first starting out, and a lot of this stuff I'm talking about today, I wasn't doing any of this in 2008. I didn't have any money when I first got into real estate,
But
but
you were writing cards and you were connecting
yes,
and you were
yes,
maybe there's ways to do this and you don't need a lot of money.
there's
I mean,
so many, you have
oh
to
my
just
gosh, yes.
start and then
Go
keep
for a
layering it
walk.
on.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
it took me 15 years to get to where I am today.
Amen. And let's
So,
just say that it's 15 years
yes.
in the making. Can we
Uh-huh.
just real quickly talk about like how do you because you're 15 years in and because you're busier now and because you don't have coffee dates like you used to, in 2008, do you have a system or a process that helps you stay accountable so that you're connecting? Because I know for me, just this is normal, not just me, everybody. You focus in on the networking or the connections. Okay. I am this quarter, my word this year is connection. So, how am I going to do this quarter? And what am I doing? And then, sure enough, those connections work. You get more
Yeah.
business, you get more stuff, and then the business takes
Uh-huh.
over. And then, oh, sugar, now we're back at ground zero with
Right.
I don't have anybody in the pipeline. I need to start all over with a connection. So, how do you
Yeah.
hold yourself accountable?
Well, I mean, holding yourself accountable is one thing. It's like you just have to have self accountability. And I know that I'm not going to get to my goal if I don't do what I need to do. So I do have self accountability there. Um, I use a CRM that has a task system. So, my tasks come up every day, but some days, like, you know how it is. Like some days you have every intention of getting on the phone in the morning, and then, your day blows up at you or whatever. I always try to knock it out in the morning because I know how the rest of the day goes. But one thing that I did early on, and I did this actually for a couple of years, in my world, I just know that if I talk to 20 people a day about real estate, I'm going to hit the goal that I need to hit. Like that's just, I know my conversion, like I just know that. So what I did, and I don't know why I'm still not doing this. I should actually, now that I'm talking about it, I would go to the bank. I have a business partner, my son.
Oh, I love that.
I would go to the bank every single Monday, and I would take out 5 $20 bills for each of us. And I would give them to our administrative person, to one of my team members. And I would just say, at the end of every day, if I don't show you, like I have a contact sheet that it looks like this, where I keep track of who I'm talking to and how many people I'm talking to. If I
And
don't
just
show,
if you I need to tell everybody, you guys, it's written out. It's color coordinated
yeah,
and it's written out. It is not fancy.
no,
I
it
love
just
it.
has lines on it. Yep, and there's 400 names on here because I know I need to talk to 400 people a month. So this is a new month, but I went and got 20, let's see, so $40 a day. I gave it to the my team member, and I said, me and Zach need to earn our $20 back for the day. So we would each have to show her our sheet and show her that we talked to 20 people. And then she would give us our $20 for that day. And she made a lot of money over the 2 years that we were doing it.
So she got to keep the money.
She got to keep or donate
I love it.
money. Yep. And so that was our accountability. And when your accountability is a habit, do you know what I'm saying? It's over time, you're going to get more accountable. And we were working our way there. And I'm like, how can we do this to be accountable and have it hurt when we're not accountable?
Love
And
it.
that was our way. And, again, we knew that not making the 20 contacts, we were going to suffer because we weren't going to have as many closings. And at the same time, we suffered even more when we didn't get it because we didn't get our $20 back.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and that's $20 is cheaper than that's the cheapest accountability. Like if you're a business coach or whatever, like that's the thing. I'm guilty of this. Like I'm always like, oh, I should get a business coach. And then I'm like, no, Melissa, you need to do the work. You know what you need to do. You need to do the work. And that's what a lot of us come down to.
I'm not going to downplay that because I have had a coach since about
absolutely. Me too. But when I'm like
a coach in my life since about, let's see, 2012. So, I always will, I probably will forever have a coach. So
absolutely.
I think
but what I'm saying is there's that, like, you got to do the work, and you can do that with your kids. You guys, if you have younger kids, like, okay, mama needs to get this much done. And if I don't get it done, you get $20.
Yeah.
Of course, no, but then they'll interrupt you more. So we got to change the wording there.
True. You got to find another way with the kids.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Get the $20 if they leave you alone.
There we go. Yeah. I do also want to plug your space because you have a beautiful space, right? That people can use for their events or whatever. So can you just chat real quickly about that? Sorry, there's all of these things I'm come up with.
Yeah, well, when I took over the Keller Williams office here in September as the operating principal, I wanted to I just wanted, one of my core values is community. And I just thought, how can we serve the community again by offering value so that they notice us, they know where we are, they think of us when they need a great space. So we have this amazing training room that's full with AV equipment, everything a person would need to do a presentation. It seats about 50 people, but maybe more like 40 comfortably. It gets a little tight at 50, but we're just letting the community use it whenever they want to use it. They just come here and pick up the key. Obviously, we gather information about them, and people have really been utilizing it. Like it's been working out really well. And again, it's our way of giving back to the community. And it's available weekends and evenings as well. So
That's so
I know there's a
awesome.
lot of groups in the community
Yeah.
that are looking for places to meet. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
Uh-huh.
Because it is a beautiful space and it's
Yeah.
really easy to
Yeah,
get
we like
to,
it.
great parking, all the things. So if
Uh-huh.
you're looking for a
Yes.
space for you local people,
Yes,
consider Jill. And
for
then
sure.
Jill, you gave us so much. I'm so excited about this episode. I knew I would be, but
Ah,
I'm super excited about it because you gave us
yeah.
some great nuggets. Let's plug your workshop that you have coming up. Talk to us about maximize the power of your network. You're going to be doing
Yeah.
that for in River Falls.
So one thing I will talk about is community ed. So if you're a business that could host a class at community ed, um, most communities have them through the schools, and the people that organize community ed are clamoring for class content. And so about probably 9 years ago, I've been doing it for about 9 years. I called the community ed and I said, hey, I want to do a real estate buyer and seller class. And, for me, I just said, I'll teach for free. You keep the money, you just fill the room for me. So I get marketed in their catalog that goes out 4 times a year to all of the Hudson residents. And I have my classes in there. But the class you're referring to, I just added another class that is more about what we're talking about today, because I got thinking, my dentist actually asked me one time if he could pick my brain on marketing, to get more dental people. And I started thinking, and I'm like, there are other business owners that could use, learning. So I created a class that I'm going to be teaching at River Falls at the high school on June 14th called Maximizing the Power of Your Network.
Love it.
So yeah, so not only do I teach real estate, I'm teaching this class as well. So
Awesome. Awesome. Jill, thank you so much for
yeah,
our little
thanks
master
for inviting
class
me.
in being referable and getting referrals and networking and relationship building, all those words that are similar for
Yeah,
building a business. Because to build a sustainable business, you got to talk to people and you got to
right.
be good with people and you got to be good to people. You got to be
You just
good.
have to show up. You just
No,
have to show up.
show up, but do great work.
Yes.
And most of us are really good at what we do because we love it. We've done it, but sometimes the people part of it sometimes scares us. And so you gave us some
Right.
really great ideas to think about and
Yeah.
be consistent with. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. All right, everybody. I hope you love this episode as much as I did. I'm super excited to blast it out to people and share it with the rest of our community. That everybody have a great week. We will see you here same time, same place next week. Peace. Bye-bye.